If you love Chinese food, I bet this Chinese walnut chicken will be something that you love. Because this walnut chicken is Cantonese style. It is marinated with light soy sauce, sesame oil, etc. Cantonese style, not creamy. And the walnut is then caramelized by using honey separately to give it a contrast. And in addition to that, I also have some vegetables to add it on so that it gives it a more colorful presentation and more crunch. So in this recipe, I would like to show you how we normally make it at home. Let's get started. First, let's deal with the walnut. This is the walnut that I'm going to use. Now, if your walnut is bitter, what you can do is you can put it into the boiling water and blanch it for 1 or 2 minutes to remove the bitterness. But if the walnut is not bitter, you can in fact skip this step and straight away add to the honey to caramelize it. Okay, 1 minute is up. Then put the walnut onto a piece of paper towel and make sure that it is dry completely before we coat it with the honey so that the honey can adhere to it properly. Now add some honey to a pan and also add an equal amount of water. Then add the walnut into it. And start coating the walnut with the honey. Keep it at low heat because honey can burn it easily. Well, the amount of honey that you use really depends on how sweet you want it to be. You can add more honey or you can add some extra sugar if you want it to be sweeter. So when it's done, I'll remove it and let it cool on a plate. Next, I cut the chicken into bite size. This is chicken breast, but you can use chicken thigh meat. It's really up to you. But the important thing is we need to marinate it. So I'm going to marinate the chicken with the basic Cantonese seasoning. This is light soy sauce, some wine, Chinese Shaoxing wine, some oyster sauce. If you don't like to use oyster sauce, you can omit it, but you can compensate it by adding more light soy sauce instead. A little bit of sugar because afterwards the sauce will have some vinegar, so I just want to balance the flavor, and a little bit of white pepper. You may also want to add a little bit of salt. And then mix it well and leave it aside for 15 to 30 minutes. While marinating the chicken, I have already prepared some others secondary ingredients. Now, this is onion, which I have already cut, and then I have loosened it into small pieces so it is easier to fry afterwards. And then I have a small carrot, which I have already cut into pieces like that, and then minced garlic, minced ginger, and this is the scallion or spring onion cut into short pieces, and then finally this is the snow pea, and the snow pea is supposed to be that way. I have just plucked both sides away to remove the fibrous thread over here, and then cut it into half and it becomes like that. Now I want to pan fry the chicken, and let's coat the chicken with some cornstarch. And then I will pan fry the chicken instead of deep frying it. And it's going to be healthier this way, and it's a better way to do this way at home. Heat the oil and then put the chicken into the pan, and I'm using a non-stick pan because I use relatively less oil today, and also helps to prevent the cornstarch from sticking to the bottom. Now in the restaurant, as I said, we deep fried it by using electric deep fryer, which is much faster, but it also involves a lot of oil, which may not be the best way to do it at home. Since I slice the chicken thinly, I'm using medium to medium-high heat while still able to brown it quickly and keep the internal of the chicken tender. So the chicken is done, and with some remaining oil, I'm going to use it to saute the vegetables. It's not much oil left, so I just add a little bit extra. Now keep it at low heat. Add the ginger, garlic, and the onion slices. And when it turns fragrant, add the carrot and also the snow peas. And stir fry it for a short while, for about a minute or two, until it is cooked, still crisp, tender, but has not lost its vibrant color yet. You may need to add a little bit of water. And the choice of vegetable is really depends on you. If you don't want to use snow peas, you can substitute it with bok choy or some bell pepper or whatever you like. It is very flexible. But before that, I want to draw your attention to another thing, that is to make the stir-fry sauce. And the component of the stir-fry sauce is basically quite similar to the component of ingredients that I use it to marinate the chicken, like soy sauce and a little bit of oyster sauce. As I said, if you do not want to use oyster sauce, you can just increase the amount of light soy sauce that will do. And also the wine. But in this case, I also want to add some vinegar, just a small amount. And because of the vinegar, I need to add some sugar to balance it. And lastly, dark soy sauce for the purpose of improving the color. And then dilute it with just a little bit of water. That forms the stir-fry sauce for the chicken. Also, in a separate bowl, put some cornstarch into it and add a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons of cold water to form a slurry. This is for the purpose to thicken the sauce afterwards. Now let's get back to the vegetables. And now I add the sauce that we have just constituted into the pan. Combine with the vegetables and also thicken it with the cornstarch slurry that we have just made. So once it returns to the boil again, we turn the chicken into it and coat the chicken evenly with the sauce. And basically that's it. That's how to prepare the chicken. And as I said, we prepare the walnut separately. So the last step is to combine both together when we serve. Okay, done. Well, that's how to prepare the Cantonese-style walnut chicken. It has a great contrast in terms of taste, The chicken is meaty, the walnut is crunchy, the walnut is sweet, slightly sweet, and the chicken is savory. Very good contrast, and with the added vegetables, it is a complete one-pot meal. So if you like this recipe, I've included it in the description below the videos for your reference, and also I will add it to the end of this video for you. And let me know the result. I hope you will love it. Great to go along with steamed rice. Let me know the result in the comments, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye for now.